Cheyenne Marrs, everybody.
Hello.
We're at Memphis Magnetic Recording Studio in Memphis, Tennessee, and we're here to talk about your new album.
Everybody wants to go home. Yeah.
Everybody wants to go home. Do you want to go home?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah?
Anytime I'm not at home, I want to go home. Yeah.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm sure a lot of your future listeners will understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They probably want to go home too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like a vibe of...
Yeah, it kind of
one the
is.
tracks?
It was made in a home and written in a home, but most of all, recorded in a home, a friend's home, Graham Winchester's home. And a lot of the, I don't know, substance and stuff came from around the kitchen table and just hanging out and stuff. And yeah, I think it's weird. I surround myself with other people that are homebodies as well. So it's like, you know, I don't know, if I'm not playing shows or working or whatnot, like it's like, I don't know, I just want to be at home. And even when I'm doing those things, I want to be at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just the best title. It's so earnest, and it's like if you disagree with that, it's like you're probably lying.
Yeah.
Everybody kinda wants to go
Right.
home.
Or even just the
Everybody-
feeling of home, or like, you know, yeah. Because I've been homesick, not necessarily missing a certain home, but just like the feeling of home. And I think that's a big reoccurring thing in the record. Like, yeah,
Nice.
just,
So are you from Memphis originally?
yeah, I was born here, but raised in like Walls, Mississippi,
Okay.
which is just down the road. But yeah, raised there and playing out here since the early teens and stuff.
Cool.
I love it.
That's awesome. Well, I think it's so true that like so much good can come from like thinking of like soft things like home.
Yeah.
Is there anything that like surprised you while writing this album or like writing tracks?
Yeah, I mean, just the flow of it all. It was all so easy, and everything seemed to come just like one after the other, like just landing where it's supposed to. Just things in the record and involving the record and just life around the record kind of just seemed to, I don't know, nothing was forced, and like everything just kind of, yeah, happened right on time.
Was there like certain sounds you were like, I've gotta have this, or I want to like recreate some sounds from
Yeah.
influences?
Absolutely. I mean, I think influence just have a way of leaking out of, especially the writing, without meaning to. And if it's like, not if it's well done, it doesn't sound like a blatant like rip on that or something. Like, you know, that sounds just like this. It's like you can hear it like almost subconsciously as it goes. But yeah, no, there were definitely like sounds that always come to mind especially when making this, like it's something so special as like a, you know, a solo record. And From a Basement on the Hill by Elliott Smith is like one thing that's always in my head, and just like the sound of that record, it's got a certain sound to it and quality to it that I think is the best music ever written. And just like that, and like a lot of, you know, Beatles stuff and Daniel Rawson, and yeah, like just getting that. There's like a haunting quality to these artists' songs that really stick with you. And I think that's what, not even by meaning to, but just coming out, it's like a lot of that kind of stuff just happens to bleed through my writing.
Could you have seen yourself like accomplishing this, like 5 or like a younger version of yourself?
Yeah, no. I mean, I knew it would be done somehow, but I didn't know it would be like this. But like, I always felt it feeling more forced or something, and as easy as this was, yeah, I never knew it would be like that. And no, really, I mean, where I was in my younger years and like up until a few years ago, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to like commit to this like kind of thing, because you know, I was a wild one and doing whatever, or a selfish one, whatever, just doing whatever I wanted to do. And it's nice to be able to like it's nice to be able to work with people enough to like get something done, because it's definitely not a thing that can be done by myself. So like being able to create with people without, I don't know, without judgment, and without like saying like, oh, it doesn't sound like this, like I don't like it or whatever, just without judgment really is nice, and without complication, because it's just, yeah, it takes a whole bunch of people, or a good handful to get something like this done. And it was, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit more about like your writing process on this record? And
Yeah. I write songs, like I'll write everything but lyrics first pretty much, and lyrics are kind of secondary for me. I mean, when they're good, they're great. But like sometimes they don't kind of matter to me, and I'm more about melody. Like I want to hear a good melody. I kind of could care less what some of the words say. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's cool because like we would sit around before and just hang out, and it'd be like me and my fiance and Graham and his wife, and just hanging out around the kitchen table and just talking about random stuff, just like kind of letting loose before we'd go in that room all night. And a lot of stuff, I mean, some stuff came from literally like directly from us talking. Some of the lyrics and some of the just the substance in all these songs came from a lot of that. But it was cool because it was I like super vague, random lyrics, and like they don't have to make sense at all. But some of these, it's cool when like something like that goes down on paper, but then when you read over it again, it's like, oh, that kind of does make sense though. Like it means something to me now. Like and it might be a absurd line or two, but it like after you've sang it and like played it, and it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of deep. I don't know, but
it's like someone's connected to it.
Yeah.
Like
there's a song called Everything is Everything on it, and it's actually what we were going to name the record at first, but it kept sounding cheesy to me, and Anna, my fiance, came up with the line that's like in the end of one of the songs, kind of like predominantly like a few times in it, and I was like, man, that is the perfect title of the record.
You described Everybody Wants to Go Home as a meditative exploration of death and rebirth, relapse and recovery, and everything in between. Could you like discuss that a little bit more?
Yeah, no, I mean, so I'm in recovery and have been for a couple years. I like dealt with like a heroin addiction and among other things, but yeah, I've been, in recovery for a little more than 2 years, and so I mean a lot of it, and I've been in and out of recovery for a long time, and have had many relapses as well as recoveries. So I mean, yeah, those are definitely in the record, just getting subconsciously talked about or not, and there's been a lot of significant deaths since the starting of the record, or in the last couple of years. So I think that, because I mean I would joke with Graham like about it being therapy, and like I was like you're like your instruments are my couch, and like you're my therapist right now. And we would joke about that a lot, but it was real. I mean, it was true, because I mean, it was pretty convenient for it to happen in the time that it did, because I mean, I was really going through some grief, and just a bunch of stuff, and it was pretty healing to just do this record, and a huge part, I'm sure, of why I've still been clean and stuff. So yeah.
Totally. Well, congratulations on
Thanks.
your recovery. Like, I don't know if congratulations is the right word.
Yeah. It's a
Best wishes.
it's a word people say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, if I'm the only one, I'm leaving right now.
No, it's totally cool. I mean, yeah. No, it's definitely better than where I ever imagined being or was. So, congratulations is great. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's so cool that you are really a true musician. Not that it's like my place to say, but like that you find solace in like abstract expression, and that like like you don't even need to put like too much weight on the lyrics. I think that's like so cool, because I'm kind of with you. Like, I'm like more of like a melody chord progression type person, whereas like the lyrics are kind of like on the side for me. So, but like that is like you're obviously such a creative and like person, but you can be creative and have like a block between like ideas and execution. So like like you said, this record is like a testament to like your not only like ability to execute, but like your like dedication to just like get make something tangible out of like your ideas.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
No, yeah. I didn't realize we were talking that long. Nice. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you again, camera woman. Fiance. On the cam.
Sweet.
Yeah. Stream. Everybody wants to go home. Everybody wants to go home on Spotify, Apple Music.
All of it, baby.
All of it.
I think it'll be on Deezer too. I'm sure. Shout out to Neil. He's always just. Never mind.
Yeah. Cheyenne Marrs, everybody.
Easy does it, let's just get along. Maybe we can scope out the scene. Living low and laying out all the laws. Maybe with the anarchy. I don't know about many things. All you think about is suffering.